Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. We'll be learning how to make this corset top with the freehand method. Let's get started. So what you do first, you place your fabric on fold like I'm doing now, trying to mark out the length of the blouse. Then you start putting your measurement, your horizontal measurement. My shoulder, I'm trying to get the length of the blouse. My shoulder to my bust point, that's the measurement you need. My shoulder to my bust point, chest line, bust point, under bust. Then I will rule out my horizontal lines. That's my under bust line. Under bust line, my bust point. Your bust point is your shoulder to your nipple. Then my shoulder line. I'm trying to rule it out. For this freehand method, you just use the normal method of cutting a bustier. Then you just adapt it to a corset. So after ruling out these lines now, my shoulder to my nipple to my nipple measurement is 8 inches. That's 4 inches. So I'm going to add 2 inches to it. Because it's on fold, I was meant to use 4 inches, that's 8. So if I add 1 inch, that's 9. If I add another one, that was 10 inches. So I'll use 5. I'm adding 2 inches to my nipple to nipple measure. So I'm using 5 inches for that part. So I'm trying to mark that out now. So that will serve as my dart leg. So I've connected it now. That 5 inches is my dart leg. Remember, my bust span is actually 4 inches, so I added. So by my under bust side, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch at the under bust, 1.5 inch at that side for my under bust. So I'll connect to my bust point. Then on my chest line, I'll mark 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect it there. On the other side, I'll mark 2 inches. Or 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. Then from that under bust point, I'll connect to my bust point. Then I'll still mark 1/2 inch up and take it out for my over bust tightening. So you see what I've done now. So after doing this now, I will now measure my back, my shoulder measurement. My back is 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I'll mark 8 inches on my shoulder line. Then I'll bring it down to my chest line. That will serve as my armhole line. Then my shoulder slant, 1 inch shoulder slant. I'm just trying to curve my armhole. So we're almost done. So this is a bustier pattern for a freehand. So I'm trying to adapt it now to a corset pattern. So on that other part, I'll measure my actual bust point is 4 inches. In there, I'll take 1 inch. At that part, I'll measure 1 inch down. So from that 1 inch now, from my under bust, I'll just draw a curved line. I'll do a curved line to connect to that part. Can you see? So I want a sweetheart neck. So I'll come down from my chest line with about 1.5 inch. I'll mark that. So I'll connect from that side to where I want my neckline to stop. For my chest line, you can decide to go above your chest line, but I'm doing it. So I'm connecting that now to my chest line. So that's how for that part. Then for the other side, I'll use my shoulder line as a guide. I'll just come down. Then I'll connect to the under bust, rule a curve. You see, it's very easy. So our corset pattern is as good as ready. So I'll take my measurements now. My bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'll add my sewing allowance to it. I've divided my bust measurement by 4. Then I'm adding my sewing allowance. For this freehand method, you need to add a lot of allowance. My under bust measurement, that what we are cutting out, we are putting it back. We are cutting out about 3 inches. Then you add your actual allowance. So all the allowance I'm adding is about 5 inches. Then I'll repeat same process for the waist. Same thing for the waist. Can you see? So we are through with that part now. So I went up with 1 inch. I'm connecting it to the lower part to avoid sharp edge. So I'm going down my armhole with about ½ inch on that part. So we have a paid class for this, a detailed class for corset sewing. If you want to use your freehand to achieve a good corset, I have a paid class for it. If you are interested, just send a DM. We have a class. We have a wait list already for the class. Corset making using your freehand method is so detailed. So I'm cutting my neckline now. So I think I'm done with the pattern. I'm just trying to work on the yoke. I feel that neckline is too high, so I'm bringing it down a bit. So we are done. So I will have to do a cutout now. See what we have. That's our pattern. I've cut it out already. So the next thing I'll do, I'll just take my wadding. You can use your bra cup. What I have here is wadding. There's no bra cup. So I'm using this wadding. It's a medium wadding. So I'll just cut that out. Then use my iron to glue it to the fabric. You repeat the same thing for your lining too. I'm not using lining. I'm just trying to show you with this scrap fabric. So after cutting out my part, so I'll just open up that center part like that. See what I have? So I'll take it to the sewing machine now. Sew it on those sides, then join the cup and show you. So I'm done joining the cup, the corset cups. So see what I have. Then I've joined that center. Can you see? So see what we have. Can you see? So beautiful. So thanks for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.